ask you a question as you put your tinfoil hats on for a second?
Oh yeah.
What would be so assuming aliens have visited and they
Mhm.
are, by the sounds of it, like assimilated within us? What would the reason be? Like, why would they do that? Not as an individual, like as a species, which is obviously incredibly highly evolved if they're able to do
Mhm.
that. What would their like? Why would they do that as a creature, as a living creature?
I'll go first, John. I see it as a two-edged sword, and it could go either way. Are they going to be the protagonist or are they going to be the antagonist? And I think protagonist side is that they could emulate a human because we Brad, we've gone really deep into
Yeah.
conspiracies. Like
So
we
am I.
are
I promise you, not
really
as far as
entrenched.
me.
Yeah,
I promise you, not as far as me.
we can't walk any of it back at this point. So, so, we've brought up the concept of they're already here and
Yeah,
they can mimic what a human looks like. And,
yeah.
we've joked that, it's a certain commissioner of a certain sport. Like, oh, yeah, that guy's ruining the sport. He's definitely an alien. We kind of bring up that thought of like, okay, protagonist wise, though, they come here, they emulate, and they try to help us. They've maybe been in our footsteps once upon a time in their planet. They've learned through experience. They're here to help solve our problems. You name it. If you want to name global warming a conspiracy, whatever. They could help us kind of work through that international conflict, things like that. Antagonist side is they're here and they just absolutely want to rule us, take over the world. And we don't have, we talk about our oceans,
Mhm.
how much unexplored ocean we have. And a big conspiracy. Again, we've gone over a lot. We think that there could be a possibility that they live in our oceans. There's been some footage that we've seen, and happens to be off the coast of California, where we see something diving in, probably AI. I don't know. Again, we'll tease it. But are they living in our oceans? Are they going back and forth between there? Could they already be here in that aspect, and they're just building? They found Atlantis and they are just modernizing it, and they're getting ready to just like lift that bad boy out of the water and take us over. I don't know. And then we have, a whole bunch of movies that could go over that too. But that's kind of how I personally
Address
see
your
it.
points because I love that. I'm in this now.
There it
So
is.
my question to that would be both of these. Sorry to interrupt your point, John,
No.
but it would be, I would say, so okay, to address both your points of the antagonist and protagonist, right? As
Hmm.
someone who doesn't believe that's happening, right? So just the other side of the argument, I would say
Hmm.
my question would once again be why. So I would say if they have the capability to be among us, assimilate, have the technology to be indetectable, they don't need to assimilate to learn us to conquer us, right? So that's ants and people. They would pour
Hmm.
boiling water over us, over the anthill. That would be job done. So that would be my question as to why they would go to that extent, because they can obviously observe us from afar in that case. So
Mhm.
why would they be gaining knowledge on the ground that they couldn't get elsewhere? If they were the protagonist, I would say, once again, why? What species has ever shown ever that they will just help anyone else, right? Empathy. And this is going a huge way. And just without criticizing, this is taking a huge leap, assuming that this species that potentially, well, doesn't abide by the same laws of physics, now wants to randomly be empathetic. And no other species other than humans show a really sophisticated level of empathy to the degree that they would go and help that species for the betterment, right? So I would say, why would they travel across the universe potentially, jump in just to give us Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and help us develop political systems, conspiracies? But I always like to pull it back to a why. Like if
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can't tell me, like I'm not saying you guys can't, but I say if you can't tell me why they would do that way, not just why they would do it as a whole, like why they would do it that way, I go, I'm not about the like living among us thing. Because you go like, look at humans. Like, why would we, for example, say we were going in to take over an entire herd of cows to harvest them and eat them, right? We wouldn't dress up as a cow and go and live among the cows for 10 years.
Hmm.
Like, we would trick them and do whatever we needed to do and be done with it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Super valid. And you brought up incredibly intelligent questions in rebuttal there, Brad. I'm going to give you one really immature answer to those. And what comes to mind is they are just really bored. They've been there, done
Yeah.
that.
Good
Yeah. And they're
answer.
like,
Good answer.
you
Like
know what?
ants in a
With
sandbox.
exactly. They're like, you know what? With that civilization, we are total dickheads to them. So this time around, we're going to do the other end of the spectrum and we're just going to be kind of nice and just try to help them figure
That's
it
not
out a
a
bit. And if they're too much of idiots there, then we just turn into the antagonist again. We're like, oh, it's
yeah.
we tried. You guys are done.
So
And
that's a
yeah,
perfect answer. So